2 plates now. 2 plates has entered the chat. Okay, I'm trying out 3 plates now. 2 was fine. We'll see how 3 goes. I did a little chain as well, 5 kilo chain, so it's going to bring us up to a total of 190 at lockout. To be fair, because this is seated shoulder press, you do get the majority of the chain, so it will be pretty heavy throughout. But don't know why I'm doing this. You know, sometimes you just got one on you, you just feel like moving something. And even though I know my pushing movements aren't at full capacity at the moment, whatever. Yeah, lifting straps next time. That's trying to peel all of my calluses off. I'm pretty sure the bar's not meant to bend like that. Oh well. I guess that's what 380 does to a bar. It was bent anyway. Heavy. Okay, right, I've done a load of heavy stuff tonight, some very heavy shrugs, some pretty heavy seated shoulder press. So now I'm just going to get some volume in to finish off. So I'm going to finish off with some side raises, some side delts to make us nice and wide. And the idea now is I'm doing what I call an up the rack, down the rack. So I'm starting with the 10 kilo dumbbells. I'm going to get 15 reps. We're going to go to the 12s. I'm going to get an additional 15 reps. I'm going to go to the 15s, get an additional 15 reps, and then the 17s for 15 reps. But the trick here is I'm then going to work my way back down. So I'll then do the 15s for 15. I'll do the 12s for 15 and the 10s for 15. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough. So by the end, I'll have hit, was that about 100, what's that? I'm a teacher, come on, I can work this out. 105 reps, I think it is. So seven lots of 15, yeah. So 105 reps in total. So that's quite a lot of reps to finish off. Okay, let's get started. Don't judge my form. But these sting very quickly. First 15 down. So you just shake it off a couple of seconds and then you go into your next set. So it's almost like pre-exhausting within the same set, if you know what I mean. Like 17's kilo dumbbells isn't super heavy for me, but by the time I've done the amount of reps, by the time I've done a load of reps to get to that, so by the time I get to the 17's, I'll have done, what, 45 reps or something like that. They become very heavy very quickly. Okay, 15's. My form is what I call functional. Not perfect, but it works for me. I try and get them up in the region of parallel to the ground. But they burn like I don't know what now. Okay. Finish with the 17's, 15's. Okay, so let the burning subside for a few seconds, and then we get another 15. Burns like I don't know what. I think that's 15. Okay, 12s. We're getting there, we're getting there. 3. Okay, let's go. is real. And this truly is just a test of your character. Pain tolerance, basically. Last one. Oh. Oh. Give them a try, as there's a great way to either start a workout or finish a workout. Great way to warm up, pre-exhaust, get a great pump going in the shoulders, or alternatively, if you've just done a heavy workout like I have, that's why I'm dribbling everywhere. It's a great way to kind of finish off and get a good pump. Okay, so that's workout done now anyway. As you can see, I've worked up a lovely sweat. It was okay. Just slowly but surely rebuilding the confidence with my pressing. 190 for a real grind on the shoulder press was pretty good for this stage. I haven't touched more than 180 on a flat bench for a few weeks now. So 190 on a shoulder press was all right. As I said, I think the injury itself is feeling a lot better. But one, I've lost a bit of strength just because I haven't been using those maximal weights. And two, I've just lost a bit of confidence, to be honest with you. Because those of you who've been injured before know what it's like and know how it can really set you back. And as I said to you guys previously, I tore my pec many years ago, well over 10 years ago now, but it took me a very long time. It took me a couple of years to get over that injury and come back. And that was just being a young man and not listening to my body, and just not being sensible. The story was basically, at the time, I was in my very late 20s. I think I was about 29. Yeah, so I mean, I'm saying 10 years, it's actually about 15 years ago now. Yeah, 29, 30, something like that. And I had fallen in love with the bench press, the way we all do. At the time, my max bench was 230 kilos, from what I recall. And I'd just fallen in love with every single bench session I did. I had to hit 200 kilos or more. If I hadn't hit 200, I hadn't had a workout. And you know, it'd be like the end of the world. But on this day in particular, I was warming up and just nothing felt right. It just didn't feel right, and I didn't listen to my body. So I did my usual 1 plate, 2 plate, and they moved okay, but they didn't feel great. And then I got onto 3 plates the way I normally do. And I did a set of 8, and it just wasn't moving properly. But, you know, with a few more grey hairs and a bit more experience nowadays, I'd say, okay, Mark, leave the gym or go and do another exercise or go and train another body part. But, you know, when you're young and full of testosterone and all that kind of stuff, I said, you know what, I'm going to do 1 more warm up. And I did 3 plates again. And I got to my 5th rep and just went bang, and tore my pec. Luckily for me, it wasn't a major tear. It was enough to really hurt and really set back my training. Times are very different now, but in those days, even though it is only sort of 15 years ago, doctors had a very medieval approach to people who lifted weights. And basically it was your own fault. Nothing we're going to do for you. It's just cosmetic. was what I was met with. Nowadays, you know, doctors I think have a slightly better approach. But I ended up just rehabbing myself. But those of you who've torn muscles before know that what happens is you are left with a lump of scar tissue ordinarily.
and I've got a lump of scar tissue in my pec, just in the corner where it kind of joins into my delt. And a few weeks ago, benching 120 kilos, I keep on saying it, 120 kilos, I aggravated it. And I thought it was a bit of a pec strain, but what actually happened is I'd torn a bit of the scar tissue, which hurts. It's very, very uncomfortable. Not quite as bad as the original tear by any means, nowhere near as bad, but it is quite sore. I've done that many times over the years, particularly when I was trying to come back from the injury, because I was younger and I just didn't know what to do. So I've been playing it relatively smart. The pain has subsided tremendously now. I can feel a little bit of tightness there, but as I said, with me at the moment, it's more of a psychological thing. It's more of a confidence thing. And plus, your strength goes down considerably when you don't use maximal weights all that often. You have to kind of rebuild it's not just the muscle, it's almost like the connective tissue. Those of you who, move a little bit of weight, you'll know when you unrack something, what it feels like in your hands, or, if you're squatting something, let's say you're a 200 kilo squatter, you'll know when you get up to that kind of 160, 180 squat, when you unrack it, if it feels heavy on your back, you'll know exactly what I mean. And same thing with a bench press. When you unrack stuff, you'll just know it feels heavy in your hands. If you're feeling strong, it feels relatively light in your hands. That's more to do with connective tissue and your nervous system adjusting to things, I personally find. So at the moment, I'm just sort of rebuilding that by climatizing to slightly heavier weights. 180 plus a chain for shoulder press is decent. My max I've done on a seated shoulder press is a bit over 200 kilos. So, to be there at this stage with the way my aches and pains and things have been going, that's not too bad. It was a very ugly rep. Don't get me wrong, it was a real grinder. But it wasn't through injury, which is all I can say. It was just simply because I'm not as strong as I was a few weeks ago. Yeah, shrugs. You saw me lifting on my Olympic bar. And that Olympic bar has had its day because it's so bent. So I just thought I might as well, it's already bent anyway. It doesn't really bend that much after. You can do about 3-4 plates on it thereabouts. And then after that, it really starts to warp. So why not just put it all the way up to 9 plates? But the shrugs were okay. They were okay. I don't do super heavy shrugs all that often. As a young man, I used to love super heavy shrugs. And I can't recommend them enough if you are trying to just look jacked and have a nice big thick neck and upper back and traps. Heavy front shrugs, heavy rear shrugs, heavy dumbbell shrugs, coupled with, your basic barbell rows, deadlifts, T-bar rows. They just give a very powerful look to a lifter. And you can always tell a lifter. You guys will know yourselves. And you can tell the difference between someone who takes their training seriously and someone who moves weight. Ordinarily by the kind of neck, the traps, and just general thickness, like when people turn to the side. And I really do think shrugs are a great way of getting that look, if that's the look you're looking for. And I like being strong, but it's nice to kind of look strong as well. Anyway, and then I finished off with a few side raises, which you just saw, and they sucked. Well, I'm not going to speak any longer because you can hear I've got a bit of a cold. And my voice is completely going, but I thought I'd get a video done anyway. All right, thank you as always to the loyal comments and commenters and subscribers and all that kind of stuff. Thank you to the new faces as well. the views have dropped a little bit on the videos. So if you've missed any videos, go and check out the channel. There's a few good bits and pieces that I've dropped recently. I'm just trying to figure out the timing of videos as well. I've tried doing sort of peak hours around 6 o'clock in the evening. I've tried early hours in the morning. I've tried midday, and it's just very hit and miss. I don't understand the algorithm. I'm not even going to pretend to try and understand the algorithm. So I just drop the videos. But I'm still at the moment on a schedule of doing about 2 a week. But I know my the schedule scheduling about 2 a week ideally. But yeah, the views have been down a little bit. But as I said, I'm not necessarily looking at taking over the fitness industry by any means. I realise that's not on the cards. I'm not pretty enough for that. But I'm trying to make content that I quite enjoy watching myself, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching it as well. So anyway, on that note, you guys take care, and I'll speak to you soon.